What a watch. Absolutely fantastic. So this watch was released a short while ago at Watches and Wonders, and well, I think it's one of the best releases we have seen at Watches and Wonders 2025. The Nomos Club Sport Neomatik Worldtimer does not rely on vintage inspiration. It's not a re-edition. It's not a dial color change from an existing model. Nope, it's an entirely new watch. How dare you, Nomos? It looks as fresh as it gets. It's available in a bunch of dial colors, and for this particular video review we're looking at a version with the Dune dial, which I think looks mighty fine. But there are a lot of different dial colors for this particular watch, and Nomos also hinted at even more dial variations being released in Q4 of 2025, so I will not dwell on this particular color too much for this video review. I will focus on the overall watch instead. Now, first of all, let's dive right into the specs here so we get that out of the way. The case is stainless steel, features a sapphire crystal glass back, and on the front a domed sapphire crystal as well, with AR coating inside and out. Then dimensions, so diameter is 40 mm, height is 9.9 mm, and lug to lug is a clean 48 mm. Water resistance is at 100 meters, so definitely suitable for swimming. And to make sure the crown is fully screwed down, it shows red at its base, which is only visible in case the crown is not fully set. Very clever and handy, and something we have of course seen before at Nomos. Perfect all-rounder, and having water resistance on a watch geared to the frequent traveler is pretty much a must in my book. On paper, I like this watch a lot. So how is it in metal after a few weeks on the wrist? Well, I'd say it's even better than expected. So this very watch is proof that Nomos listens to its customers, believe it or not. We asked for a Worldtimer in wearable proportions, and well, they answered. The proportions of this watch feel perfect to me. So as you'll see later on in the video, you'll see this on different wrist sizes, and this watch just gets the proportions right. This works for all genders and a huge variety of wrist sizes. That's partly because of how thin it is, just under 10 mm, and partly because of the clean, curved case shape and narrow bezel. I don't know, the designers deserve a salary raise here if you ask me. Overall, also, there's enough shine on the polished steel here everywhere to make it feel dressed up, but this is still clearly a sporty watch at heart. It does sit in the club family after all, so not boring at all. The steel bracelet then is really solid, as we are used to by now from Nomos, and it nicely matches the rest of the watch. The clasp is very thin as well. It's made for daily wear, nothing too heavy or too shiny, just a comfortable, sturdy design that gets out of the way and lets the watch speak for itself. I personally prefer it on leather here, as you can see, and am wearing it on one of our straps, the Gallia watch strap in sandstone. So quick plug perhaps, if you are looking for handmade leather watch accessories, make sure to check out our shop. Those purchases directly support this very channel. I'll put a link somewhere in the description. Now that said, I would say buy this one on the bracelet. You can always add a strap later, as it is very easy to remove this bracelet. Buy on the bracelet if your wallet allows it. Now back to the watch then. As the name suggests, this watch does something with world time functionality. Nomos, as always, takes a different approach to most here. So now real quick before we continue, here's how you read this watch. So you read the time of where you are with the standard hands, and where you are is then indicated on that outer ring section, showing a mix of city abbreviations and I believe airport codes. And then at 3 o'clock you see what time it is at home. Nice little touch, by the way, are those colors dividing the home time subdial which then indicate night and daytime. Very cool. A button on the side of the case at 2 o'clock lets you cycle through different locations, moving the hour hand forward as you go and leaving the minute hand perfectly in place. So the recessed button there as well is the corrector point, which would be used to synchronize the main dial with the home time display occasionally. Overall, the way Nomos works with the Worldtimer here is very clever and keeps the dial clean and easy to read. It's all basically very Nomos, if you ask me. Now, making all of this world timeliness technically possible is Nomos' brand new DUW 3202 movement or 3202 movement made in-house in Glashütte, Germany. So if you haven't yet, make sure to check out our Manufaktur Visit video on the channel. It gives a detailed insight into that aspect of watchmaking at Nomos, and it really does set them apart from the pack. Now back to this movement, it's an automatic movement, meaning it winds itself as you wear it, and it has a power reserve of around 42 hours, enough to keep ticking if you take it off for a day, but nothing mind-blowing either. But given what this watch is intended for, I think this is absolutely fine. You can see the movement then, of course, through the clear case back, nicely decorated, showing the blued screws, and in particular here Nomos' own escapement system, which they developed themselves. Making that last part in-house is still very rare in the industry. Now on the wrist, the Club Sport Worldtimer feels confident but not showy. It's slim enough to slide under a cuff, yet sporty enough to wear with a t-shirt. So the travel function is fun to use, even if you're not constantly flying around the world. It's just satisfying to click through the cities and see the hands move. A very expensive toy during one too many Zoom meetings. Now with water resistance and added functionality, I could perfectly see this as my only watch if it were ever necessary to slim down to just one watch. I do hope that day never comes, but I'm just saying. Now as promised, here you also see the watch on a smaller wrist, and here as well it fits right at home. This is not something that was the case for its sibling, the Zurich Weltzeit, a great watch as well, and do check out that video review as well on our channel. But between both, hands down, I would pick this Club Sport Worldtimer. It sits great on my 16.5 centimeter wrist. So with this release, Nomos shows it can still surprise us. Not that I ever doubted them. It's taken a complication usually seen in much more expensive or formal watches and made it feel casual, wearable and approachable. And it's still clearly a Nomos watch. I can't think of any other brand that offers anything close to this new Worldtimer by Nomos. If you're looking for a well-executed, versatile Worldtimer from a reputable brand with an in-house movement, listen, do yourself a favor, go to your nearest AD and simply give this one a try on the wrist and, well, potentially thank me later, preferably in the comments below.